The war in Iran has nothing to do with nuclear capabilities, okay? It serves three purposes. A, he's going to use it as cover to probably try to declare war and say that we can't have elections in the midterms. Don't kid yourself. He would do that. He's trying to cover up the fact that he is a child molester on the Epstein files. And it's red meat for his base. It's the perception of strength. Toxic masculinity is why a lot of young white men listen to the racist podcaster, go to all of these bros on the right and tell them exactly what Erica Kirk, i.e. Tammy Faye Baker, that grifter, right? Don't be afraid. We need strong men. Don't be afraid to be a strong white man. And there it is. That's it. Today, Pete Hegseth said he talked to a soldier on an aircraft carrier, I believe it was. And she goes, it's so glorious with the sunset in the background, how we're just bombing everybody. Pete, when you're done being an alcoholic, can you just send us more bombs? I just want to keep bombing people. This is what the alcoholic said that's on his third marriage that had a child out of wedlock. That doesn't happen. Nobody wants to bomb anybody. The military's job is to preserve America, to keep us safe in our interests, not to get off on just murdering innocent people in power plants. And then he said, France and Italy and all these other countries better get their asses over here because we started this war and you better be there for us. Why? It's imperialism. That's what America is. That's what we've always done to not just anybody that's not white, but to every country. Dropping the atomic bomb, starting wars with Mexico, stealing the president of Venezuela, bombing Iran, going to Iraq, which was completely unfounded. We've done this since the history of this country. Because this country, predominantly mediocre white men with small penises, are insecure. And they need to constantly be fighting against something. There has to be a win. I have to win an argument. I'm going to punch you in the face. I'm going to own the libs. When they vote, they're not even voting for themselves. They're voting against the Democrats. That's what you need to understand. MAGA could be buck-ass naked, eating garbage on the streets under Donald Trump, under a Republican Supreme Court, a Republican Senate, and a Republican Congress, and they would still vote for a Republican because they're voting against somebody. It lets them feel like they're tough. It's true. They're insecure. Something in their brains didn't mature. And they're completely devoid of empathy. My dad was the same way. He always wanted to fight somebody. Always wanted to fight somebody. Look at the most MAGA people. What are they, right? You see a lot of these UFC fighters or boxers. It's a lot of people that do a lot of violent things. A lot of the people in the military. Toxic masculinity. What do you see from the vast majority of gun violence? Toxic masculinity. 98% of gun violence are men. Mainly white men. Why are they so angry? Why are white people always so mad and angry? Why do they always have the desire to want to get into confrontation? Because they're insecure. This is why when I watch videos about women wanting to date MAGA, I've seen a couple of women that went undercover for like a year. They're like, you have no idea. He goes, I couldn't even be in the room with some of these guys. The misogyny, the racism, this constant desire to, oh, I'm a big, strong man. I'll pay for your dinner, woman. Yeah, you're going to do this, woman. And he's like, these people, they were just one track. They was always trying to prove masculinity. Which is why most people that have empathy and compassion would never date a MAGA woman. Because in their minds, they're attracted to this crap, right? They're told that if you're a Christian, you have to submit to your mediocre white man husband because he's the alpha male. Yeah, manly man. That's what they're attracted to, like flies are attracted to a dumpster. And that's what this war is. We're going to drag the entire country down because America wants to be imperialistic again and tell everybody what to say, what to do, where to go, what to buy, what kind of tariffs you're going to pay. You're going to do whatever we tell you just for no reason, just because we have the greatest army. And if you don't do it, we're going to tariff you at 8,000% and we're going to be tough. That's not how you become a world power. That's not how we became there. We had allies. What do you see from the white supremacist in the White House, right? He's putting his name on dollar bills, on currency. Literally, he put out a video today of his own hotel with gold statues of himself. The Republican Party just gave him an award called like America Greatness Award. They're kissing his ass. Now he wants the Nobel Peace Prize. It's constant need for affirmation. They're like drug addicts. It doesn't matter how many drugs you get, you always need more. You always need more. You always need more. It's like a drug to them. It's who they are. Yesterday I made a video. My MAGA neighbor came over at night and put a letter in my mailbox telling me how to hang my flag. He can screw off. He can go put up his damn Confederate flag, that racist. But you know what? I knew I had two options. I could talk to him, but I knew that would do nothing because he is not a critical thinker, because most MAGA are just angry and they want to win. So I went down to the post office. He said to the postmaster, "Is this allowed?" He's like, "No, that's ridiculous. They have no right to go on your porch." He's like, "I'll go down there with the police and make a report." And you know what? That's going to make him more angry. And I don't care. Because I'm not going to get into a confrontation. I don't need to prove that I'm some stupid ass alpha male. I don't need to get into a fight with my neighbor and punch somebody and yell at him because it's stupid. Think about it. You're an idiot, right? You don't like somebody and you punch him in the face. You both bleed and get cuts and bruises. You lose a tooth. You file police reports and you both have a criminal record. What did you prove? That you're a bunch of dumbasses. It's stupid. I've never even been in a fight. I've walked away from a couple because what did you prove? That you're an idiot? You're both morons? That you both have no emotional maturity? But that's what MAGA is. It is emotionally bankrupt, mediocre white people that are scared of a white minority. That's why a lot of these mediocre white men were attracted to the racist podcaster. Why they were attracted to Nick Fuentes. They're scaring them into thinking that their version of America, white America, is going away. Fight, 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 fight. Look at January 6th. Literally, almost all white men stormed the Capitol and beat police officers, all because they lost an election. But what did you see from Martin Luther King? Dozens of times put in solitary confinement, just because he wanted equality. Not once during the civil rights movement did they have anything even close to January 6th. But white men didn't like the results of an election, so they put up a noose. They beat officers. 5 died. Many have long-term disabilities. Many had heart attacks because they had to be tough men. That's what Iran is about. The perception of strength. But it's going to end really badly. We're going to be kicked out of NATO, and at some point we're going to do something stupid like invade Greenland because we have to be strong, and NATO's going to come after us. And we're going to isolate ourselves from the rest of the world because of our stupid desire for toxic masculinity, for the perception of strength while we're crapping on all of our friends. It is. The economy is going to go in the toilet. The US dollar is going to go down, but the MAGA are going to go, yeah, but at least we're tough. I got flags and bald eagles because I'm a dumbass. That's all they care about. They are simple-celled amoebas. That's it. They are not smart. They don't care what's going on in the world. All they care about is that Donald Trump hates the same people that they do. It's that simple. This isn't rocket science. They didn't care about January 6th. They cared about the price of eggs, the price of gas. Now they care because they were affected. It was never about nuclear weapons, my friends. Never was, never will be. Voting for Donald Trump was never about him promising gas prices. It was that a bunch of mediocre men with small penises couldn't stomach a woman in office. Why? Because they don't feel like a woman is strong, which is why we haven't had a woman president in 250 years. And that is a damn shame. And for all of you fake ass patriots out there that wave your flags, you go, we're the best of the best of the best. For who? For white people. And why don't you actually think for once in your pitiful lives, MAGA? Why is it that 51% of our country are women? 51% in the greatest country in the world. And while every war in this country has been started by a man, 98% of gun violence are men. January 6th was men. All the sexual abuses on little boys in Catholic churches were men. All the sexual assaults in the Baptist church were men. And yet somehow women are too emotional to run this country as the president. Yeah, it's toxic masculinity. I tell you what, I would rather have a woman to run this company because they have some damn sense. They don't run over and invade Iraq and Iran just because they need to be masculinity, because they're not stupid. There's a reason that the 92%, the black women, are some of the most educated people in this country, because they're damn smart. They're not emotional like all these mediocre white men. They use this. And you guys use this because you're idiots. It's because you don't know how to use this, because you're insecure. Have a good day.